How to get high naturally, permanently. Is it possible? Yes, it is. How do I know it's possible? Well, I know from personal experience that it is certainly possible that you can get high naturally, and it can become more permanent. But you need a spiritual practice, and you have to keep doing that spiritual practice all the time. Because the more you do it, the deeper you go. And the deeper you go, the more long-lasting those realizations are. So I'm going to give you a really cool spiritual practice, or a realization that you can easily deepen through your own experience. It's really not that hard. Once you see clearly how to do this, you will have a expansive experience, and you will really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So it has something to do, spoiler alert, this this natural high has something to do with a natural ego death. So what do I mean by ego death? Well, I mean dissolving the sense of you being a person. So no longer feeling like you are a person that has to do things and go places and has a whole schedule and you gotta deal with people. Because what is really truly real is just the fact that that's all thoughts, including the personal sense of self. It's all just thoughts. It's all just thoughts. It's all happening in the mind. Wherever the mind is happening, I don't know, but this whole sense of being a person is a fabrication of the mind. Okay? I just spoiled the whole video for you. If you know that, that can be enough to take you into this realization that the person that you think you are doesn't really exist the way that you think it does, or you do. So let's talk about awareness, because awareness is the key to this realization, and I'm going to explain why. But first let me give you an overview of this whole idea of how you can safely let go of the ego, the personal self. So the personal self is a bunch of thoughts, basically, okay? And through the practice, you will see this clearly. But all these thoughts, they come together and they continuously, all day long, reinforce the sense of self, the sense of I am this person, I am this name, this is my face, this is my body, this is where I am. That's all being reinforced all the time, over and over, all day long. So what we do is we do a practice where we go in and we interrupt that process over and over and over again. Sometimes you'll get a glimpse of this higher state of consciousness, of transcending the ego, from just one interruption. But for a lot of people, you have to do this over and over and over again for short periods of time, just really cut through the illusion of this mental illusion that you are a person, that you are a body, that you are a face, that this is your identity, right? If you do that enough times, and you realize that, oh, wait a minute, I am aware, I am conscious, even when there is no personal thoughts happening at all. That's one of the keys right there to going beyond the person, dissolving that sense of being a person, dissolving that ego. If you can do that over and over and over again for short periods of time, maybe like 10 seconds of just no thoughts about anything in your life, no thoughts about what I have to do tomorrow, this person that said this to me, thinking about your responsibilities over and over all day long and not doing anything about it. When you keep cutting through all that and you just shut it down for 10 seconds, but you stay fully aware, that's the key. You want to realize that your true identity is not a person, but awareness. And when you realize that you are awareness, then you will start to expand your consciousness naturally. You will start to feel more expanded, in your perception of life. You'll start to feel more than just a singular, separate consciousness. You'll start to feel more interconnected with all that is. You'll start to feel more alive, and you'll start to feel less fear. If you have anxiety, your anxiety will start to diminish, if not completely evaporate. Because fear and anxiety require a formula to exist. And the number one element in the formula of fear and anxiety is a self-image, a sense of self, being a person. That's one way to definitely be afraid of all kinds of things, especially what other people think of you. Because now you have this mental self-image of being a person, and you're constantly trying to figure out, okay, how do I please people, or how do I not get hurt by other people, or how do I say the right thing, how do I not say something stupid? And all that is going on inside of the personal self-identity. So when you start to dissolve, when you dissolve that personal self-identity, you start to feel more relaxed, more calm, more at peace, but full of this fearless energy. And that's what I really want for you guys, is to start to experience this wonderful experience of, it's almost like you don't exist. It's like you can take moments out of your day, preferably long moments, but it's okay if it's a short moment. But you can have these moments where you shut down all thoughts about your personal self, your personal life, things you gotta do, your schedule, all that. You shut it all down for 10 seconds. And maybe a lot longer. You do it in meditative form. And you can have this experience where you actually feel like you don't exist anymore. Like the person you thought you were, everything just goes away. And it's like, you get relief from existence, from not having to exist in that limited way. So you're existing in an unlimited consciousness way. So that's why this is so powerful, guys. That's why you really have to focus on doing this one practice, because it can change your life so much. You know, you start to identify with the awareness that's here now, that's aware. It's pure awareness. You start to realize all the qualities of awareness are your qualities now, when you switch your identity to being awareness and not a person. Because awareness doesn't care what people think. Awareness doesn't have any fear. Think about that for a second. Does awareness have any fear? Does awareness care what anyone thinks about awareness? Does awareness have any nervousness whatsoever in any situation? How could awareness ever be nervous? Awareness could only ever be aware, right? It can't be nervous. It's not possible, because the nervousness would become an object that awareness is then aware of. So, awareness can never be depressed, because awareness could be aware of depression, but awareness itself cannot be depressed. So when you start to experience yourself as awareness and not a person, you start to gain all the powers and benefits of that. It's very powerful. So I recommend that everyone try this out. Try sitting in meditative state. Sit down comfortably, listen to some music. Become aware of awareness. Become aware of this awake consciousness that's here now. It's aware of the experience. And then shut down the mind for 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. And during that period of 10 seconds, clearly see and feel that you are aware. Doesn't matter what you're aware of, just that you are here aware now. Without any thoughts. Specifically without any personal thoughts, without any sense of being a somebody. Because pure awareness doesn't even have a sense of self. Why? How could I know that? Well, if you keep stripping everything away, you'll find that you can actually get rid of everything. And the only thing that remains is awareness, purely. This whole sense of being a human being person with a history and a future and a life that you're living right now can all be, for sure, temporarily deleted out of perception. So all that remains is pure awareness. So how do you do that? Well, do the method that I just shared. Do the method where you see through the illusion of the person by quieting the mind for 10 seconds, bringing the mind to a full stop for 10 seconds, and see clearly that you exist as awareness. You are aware. And in those 10 seconds, ask yourself, where was the personal self? Where was the you during that 10 seconds of silence? Where were you? Were you in existence as a person during those 10 seconds of no thought? Or was there just this omnipresent awareness having an experience of itself? With no sense of being a human during those 10 seconds. No sense of being a responsible human being whatsoever. And you may feel drunk when you do this naturally. You may feel high naturally. You may feel on top of the world. You may feel a lot of euphoria when you do this technique, when you deepen this. But the real magic comes when you keep doing this over and over and over and over again. Focus on it. Focus on doing this as much as you can all day long, especially when your circumstances are rough and stressful. That's when you really want to use this technique a lot, because that'll help you cut out and see through the illusion of your personal self in a deeper level. Because if you can see through the personal self as not being real during extremely stressful situations, then you will accelerate the dissolving of the ego that much faster. But the key is to keep consistently doing it. Set a reminder to shut down your thoughts for 10 seconds, see that you're still aware, and do this anytime you think of doing it during the day, but try to do it a lot. And do it for 30 days. I haven't been keeping track myself, so I don't know how long I've been doing this for, but I've been seeing that I exist, that I am more fundamental to every experience as awareness than the personal identity. And what happens is, over time, the personal identity starts to dissolve. It starts to become, at first, transparent to this ever-present awareness. But over time, that personal sense of self will just goes. It just dissolves. But you don't want to fully dissolve it, obviously, because you need the ego to understand that you're in the world and all that. But yeah, so just do this, try it out, and let me know in the comments how high you get naturally. Just from meditating and not taking anything, not taking any substance, just meditating on the fact that you don't exist. And just enjoying this wonderful awareness that is free from being a person. That's what you want to do. So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video or meditation or wherever. I'll find you somewhere, hopefully. Maybe in the future, we'll see. All right, everybody, enjoy not being yourself as long as you can, and I will see you later.